Hello, I am your new GM. My image and my voice is all generated by text prompts using Artflow.
And I'm the poor NPC, villager. You're trying to rescue. Help! Oh, help!
And I am the Countess Belinda von Croft. Like all technology, there is a light side and a dark side. Which is which? Find out in this video.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode. My name is Guy, and today we're talking about that new thing, relatively new thing, called AI art, AI text, and AI animation. Artificial intelligence, or at least the idea of artificial intelligence creating stuff. Now, what does this mean for us as gamers, as role players? Where does this sit? Do we even need to talk about this kind of thing? Well, I debated that, and then I realized that we do, because it's going to have an impact on our community. It will have an impact. It's already having an impact. There are questions like, will one D&D replace DMs with AI DMs? Will they do it? I think they will if they can, but we're going to dive into that a little bit more in the video later on. What about your own home games? Is AI going to somehow inveigle its way in there? You'd be surprised. It probably will. What about adventure modules? What about adventure books? What about the future of the entire industry in terms of creativity? Where are we going to be left once AI is finished with us? So many questions. Are they relevant to us today? I think the answer is yes. We need to be informed of what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background. Now, I need to put a giant caveat in this whole video. I am not in the slightest way endorsing AI as a replacement for real humans. I think it will never do that. I do think that it will support us, and it will enhance us, and it will help us to be even more creative if we use it properly. Secondly, I am not going to go into the debate with regards to whether the AI artwork and chat, all of the impinging upon copyright, all of the theft, all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to mention it very briefly so you're a bit more informed on what's going on, but I'm not going to be placing any kind of judgment here. This is what the courts are busy doing right now. There are court cases going on all over the globe with regards to AI. And let me tell you, those court cases are interesting and scary. But this is not me going, oh, AI is evil and bad and should be stopped. Or it's also not me going, AI is amazing and we should ignore the copyright infringements. This is just me showing you what this stuff is and what it could do for us in the future. All right, so I'm using AI-generated animators things so you get a sense of where we're kind of heading. It's still in its infancy, and the AI animations were generated by myself using some text prompts, literally just some text prompts. Nothing in this video is human, as they say, generously supplied to us by Artflow AI, which is generating all of these animations. Go check out their website. Some interesting stuff still in its very early stages, still in the alpha stage of that software. But it's going to show us, it's showing us the future now. Okay, on with it. Let's see. What's up next?
AI art programs can be used for making free art for NPCs, locations, and maps. But most are unethically sourced.
All right, I wanted to get this topic out of the way straight away because it's true, it's valid. The way AI artwork and AI text work, in broad strokes, folks, broad strokes, is a whole bunch of images, millions of images, as a matter of fact, are fed into the AI, who then analyzes, explores, looks, unpacks from a programming perspective the contents of those images, how they're generated, how they're drawn, all that kind of stuff. It kind of learns from those images, okay? Now, where do those images come from? Where do these millions and millions and millions of images come from? Well, they come from the web, and there are hundreds of companies out there that just trawl the web, they crawl across the web, and they just gather all of this data. They look at things like Pinterest and DeviantArt and all of the art programs and Instagram and everything that's out there. Even copyrighted images, right? And there's a big court case going on about this. A very fact. It looks at what's out there on the internet and then it supposedly learns from that. And so when you type in, generate a picture of Gandalf as a superhero in a 1920s film, well, you get stuff, right? So, is it stealing? The argument is, yes, it is, because the AI companies are not for free. You have to generate the image, which requires rendering time. Rendering time requires machines, and machines require money. So the AI programs are charging you for that time. So they're making money off of the images that their artwork is generating. The artwork, by the way, in most countries nowadays is actually copyright-less. You can't copyright AI artwork. It simply is not something that you can do. So the output has no real value, except that it does, and you're going to see what the value is later on. But they are making money off of artists' work. The artists are getting paid nothing. Now here's the counter argument. If you go into an art gallery where everyone's paintings are hanging up and they're being displayed, or you yourself go onto the internet and type in Gandalf as a superhero in the 1920s, you will find images which you as a human being can see, can learn, can copy, can make your own versions of, which is what the AI people argue is what their software is doing. They're not actually stealing the image, they're learning from the image. That's the whole thing in a very, very badly presented kind of way. I'm not an expert. This is what I have learned and seen and heard and discussed. Does it make it right? Does it make it wrong? The courts are going to decide. And at the moment, unfortunately, the courts are basically going, yeah, it's tricky. It's complicated.
Help, brave adventurer! An AI has moved into the nearby hills and is killing all the artists. Help! Oh, please help!
Okay, so this is the hard pill. This is the truth. Why would I pay an artist $100, give or take, that's kind of the standard rate, to do an NPC portrait or a PC portrait of my favorite character? Why would I pay them $100 when I can go and get something from some AI which will generate a photorealistic version of my character for $10? Why would I pay the premium? Well, to be perfectly frank with you, you pay the premium because the AI will generate this cobbled together thing, a collage, if you will, of your character. But you won't have, not at the moment, minute control over things. So you could try, but you couldn't say, oh, I want their eyebrows to be a little bit sharper, a little bit more Vulcan-like, and I want their ears to be a little bit more this. You can certainly try, but the AI is not there yet where it will specifically do certain things. There's a reason for it. It doesn't know what a belt is. It references belts and it adds them to the picture where they should anatomically be. But if you say the buttons on the belt, it's going to have a hard time. But that's beside the point. A real artist will put in emotion of the artist at the time of drawing it. They will put in flair. They'll put in their own subtle touches. And the most important thing is that they will generate something that is absolutely theirs. It has come from their mind through their body parts, whatever body parts they use, and has been expressed onto a canvas. The AI doesn't know what it's done. It's generated stuff. And it doesn't get the idea of, oh, what's cool? I want a cool cape. Well, how do you interpret that? An artist, well, the AI won't. So as much as a lot of little jobs will go to AI, important jobs, jobs that require some kind of emotional, sentimental attachment, I feel those are going to become even more precious as the artists realize that they are even more valuable to us. Because the AI stuff, it's AI. It's no longer an impressive painting. But if I see something that's done by a human, it's like, holy smoke, this wasn't done by AI? This is mind-blowing. So that's where I think we're going to go. Having said that, for us as DMs, well, here's an immediate thing, is we can generate hundreds and hundreds of NPC portraits for nothing. Or for a very small monthly fee, however the AI people are going to position themselves. This has value in our games. It's not going to take value away from an artist. There is no ways I was ever going to commission a real human being to generate 1,000 tokens on the variant of orc, so that when I'm using my VTT or I'm playing tokens in my game, I have 1,000 different orcs. It ain't gonna happen, folks. Not in a million years. But I'm happy to pay $5 to a programmer who will generate 1,000 orcs.
AI is going to replace dungeon masters, game masters, narrators and storytellers. We are all doomed. 'Tis the end, I tell you. The end.
AI replacing the DM, the GM, the narrator, the storyteller, whatever you want to call yourself. Will it happen? Well, we know with things like Chat, GPT, CPT, DB, whatever they want to call themselves, and with Microsoft's own version, and with Google's own version, these text generators are amazing. They're remarkable. Unless it comes to specific information. Where it comes to technical stuff, that's where they start to fall down. Because they are just cobbling stuff together. They are the Kenku of the world. They are only able to do stuff which they have already been given, even if it does seem as if they are composing these amazing stories. So you can get all of the literary AIs out there to create fabulous stories. And I know that there are already novels and comic books that are being written by AI. That's inevitable. But a DM is not a storyteller. A DM is a reactionary individual who is taking a lot of input from all of the players and weaving it and structuring it and combining it together to create something new. I don't think that an AI will be able to analyze where the narrative is currently going, reference back to its original plan, and then somehow bring the cacophony of noise that are the players' ideas and actions and the randomness of the dice rolls. I don't think it's ever going to combine together completely successfully. However, I do feel that an AI might very well be able to take a pre-generated adventure, which it pre-generated, in fairness, and run you through that. And have these little segues where you could actually encounter an NPC. You're not going to type. We already have text-to-speech. We've had that for decades. You would literally say, my character says, I will attack the orc. And then the computer will automatically generate, the orc growls at you fiercely, and roll initiative. Right? That's easy. That's not that far off. And do I think that that's what's going to happen? I do. I really, really do. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we get to the 1D&D section, but I do think it's coming. I don't think, however, that DMs will be replaced completely. There is that one little spark that us as humans have, and that is the ability to deviate from the expected, to add in random stuff and to suddenly, apart from making human error, which makes us more human, but suddenly throw in a giant talking duck because we've realized that our players are maybe a little bit bored or they need to be woken up and brought back onto track, something along those lines. So, yeah, I don't think it'll ever replace. I think it's going to be like role-playing around a table, role-playing online, and then role-playing with an AI. I think those are kind of like the tiers of engagement that we're going to have.
Our scribes are worried, oh brave heroes. They think AI will write whole adventures and there will be no need for scribes, writers, and authors. Whatever shall we do?
Right, so can the AI actually just replace all of the writers out there? Should all of the DMs Guild creators, people like myself, Ghostfire, all of those out there, should we be going, we're not going to have a job in a couple years' time? Should people stop buying my book on how to write and how to create great games or epic campaigns? Because the AI is going to come along, it's going to have access to all that information, and booyakasha, suddenly it's writing adventures. It's entirely possible. All of the statistical information is usually available for role-playing games online. We know that much, so it means the AI has already got access to it. My book's a PDF, so it's got access to it. So all of that stuff, can it be turned into an adventure? Yes, it can be. Is it going to be play tested by the AI? That's not possible. And it is simply a case of, yes, but it doesn't have the randomness of humans. So they could play test it from a mathematical perspective and randomly average out all the dice rolls and do all of that wonderful stuff. But it will be as heartless and soulless as you can possibly imagine, because if it doesn't have a human involved somewhere down the line, it's just going to be a methodical thing, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe I need to be proven wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. We have to have humans involved somewhere. So perhaps, at the very least, our jobs will change from being we create adventures to I prompt the AI to create the adventure, and then I go through and I adjust it according to what I think makes it better. Maybe that's where we're heading. Either way, it's just an evolution of a job space which was only created about 40 years ago, if you think about it. Adventure writing didn't exist in the 1850s, 60s, even in the early 1900s. It just wasn't a thing. You were a novelist or a playwright or a newspaper writer, a journalist. That was about it. And journalism is a new thing too. So it's just a new step.
So, what exactly, darlings, can we do with AI artwork or AI writing?
I remember when GPT, I hate the acronym. When the AI started to come out that could generate sentences and generate descriptions, one of my friends who's a really good DM was so excited, he actually interrupted a business meeting to show off just how amazing it was that he could say, describe a dark jungle, a fantasy dark jungle. And it would spew out a page or a paragraph of text. He's like, this is so amazing. I'm going to use this in my games. I don't have to try and think of all the descriptive words and come up with all of the things and etc., etc., etc. I can do this. I can do it on the fly while my people are walking down a corridor. I can just quietly type in dark dungeon corridor and it'll give me a description and I can read it out to them. He was so excited. He ended up writing a book with me, the Creator's Guide to Epic Locations, to train yourself how to do it so you don't need to use an AI to do it for you. I mean, irony of ironies, right? Nonetheless, it is a tool. It will help us. We can generate tokens with the artwork. We can generate images with the artwork. And as you've seen in this video, we can generate animations, which will get better over time. Those can set the tone, the mood, the feeling. They can be used as an opener. They can be used as a closer for your video. Now, if you're playing online, this of course is super easy. You just play the video or you show the imagery. If you're playing around a table, it becomes a little bit less useful to you. But a lot of folks have got projectors onto their tables or built-in screens or a monitor somewhere off the side that can play this kind of stuff. So I still feel it's relevant. I still feel it has value. We're going to see more and more of this being included. And what a pleasure to be able to use a VTT in the near future where you need an orc token and you just click on orc species, maybe you define some stuff and it auto-generates the token for you. So no game has the same token over and over again.
Wait, you now want me to do even more work? More prep? That is insane. Why would I do that? Oh, help! Help, I say!
Aha! The ultimate question that we always have whenever we get a new tool that we can add to our game. It's like, so now I am a DM, a rules lawyer, I am an adjudicator, I am a this, I am a that, I am a miniature painter, I'm a map maker, oh, and I'm an AI programmer now. No, this is too much. Well, yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Would I do an animation for the opening sequence of my Round the Table game? Yes, I probably would, because I'm a geek and my background is in animation. My background is in animation, so yes, I probably would. But that's just me. Would someone who has no experience in it? No, not at the moment. And so people like Artflow, I'm chatting with them going, well, maybe I can help you by making it easier so that the DMs don't have to struggle with all this stuff, and they can go, okay, this and this. The opening sequence that I did on my very first attempt took 45 minutes to put together a 2-minute animation. From an animator's perspective, that's not bad at all. From a time perspective, 45 minutes, I could have made a battle map. I could have done some more planning. I could have watched an episode of whatever episode I'm currently watching. There's a lot of stuff I can do in 45 minutes. But it will get faster and faster and faster as the workflow gets better and better and better. And of course, as you use it more, it will still get faster and faster and faster. It is another layer that we're adding. Is it an amazing, beautiful layer like having 1,000 painted minis? Yeah, definitely not. Is it faster? Definitely.
I bet one D&D is going to use AI to make a DM for their online platform. It makes sense, right?
Oh, one D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, or for that matter, any other role-playing game. Are they going to incorporate AI DMs into their virtual platforms? Yes, of course they're going to do it. They are watching this stuff so closely. They're going, you know what? The biggest problem that role-playing has is the fact that we don't have enough DMs. There are not enough YouTube channels out there teaching us how to be great GMs. This is why they are so excited about this whole new development. Imagine it. You're going to pay $30 to have access to one D&D's virtual tabletop, or $35 a month, or whatever it is that they're going to charge you, right? Or you're going to be charged $5 a month, and then you'll still have to buy all of the virtual books, even though you're using D&D Beyond, and you have the physical book, all that kind of wonderful malarkey, right? So they're going to charge you as much as they possibly can. Every role-playing system is going to charge you as much as they possibly can. If they can add on an extra $10 fee or $20 fee for an AI DM to run the game according to the specifications that you and your players enter, it's a no-brainer, folks. It's coming. It's really coming. It makes absolute business sense. Because you think about it, if I had the opportunity, me as a GM and a never player, right? I had the opportunity to just sit back and go, you know what? I just want to role play. Right, fire it up. I want to play Dungeons and Dragons where I'm a thief and I'm breaking into a vault. And I want to go through that whole process on my own. And there's a DM that'll run it for me and it's an AI DM. I don't care it's an AI DM. If I can't tell the difference, or even if I know that there are some parameters, I'm accepting the fact that I'm now almost in the realm of a computer game, but that it is completely unique to my input. It's drawing from those amazing AI databases and creating something that will never happen again, which is a unique experience, which is kind of what I'm after anyway, and I can do it on my own. So absolutely, you will see all of the big companies doing this. Paizo will do it, and everybody else out there will do it because it makes sense.
Like all technology, it makes games a little more interesting if used as an enhancement and not a replacement.
And to all the artists, writers, creators, and makers of art, we truly stand with you and want AI, all AI, to be ethically trained. It is a tool that we can all benefit from, and so it must be a tool that all who contribute benefit from too.
Right, what are your thoughts on AI art and AI text or literature? Where do you sit in this whole thing? Do you think it's exciting? Do you think it's wrong and it should just be buried like 3D TV? Is it a fad? Is it a phase? I know it's not for certain. Maybe you think I'm wrong. So, up to you. In the comments below, let's open up this debate. But please, let's talk rationally with each other. Let's explore the topic rather than just going, nah, you've got blue hair, you don't know what you're doing, you suck. Bleh.
I would just like to say hit that like button or the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. I'd also like to say we all appreciate you watching until the end.
And so, darlings, like all things, this video is at an end. To the hordes of Patreons who support the channel, we say thank you. And until next time, we wish you all the happiest of gaming.